Hi there, this is Linda and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. In this video, I'm putting together my Project Life spread for the week of April 15th through April 21st, 2024, and I'm working with the April Stories by the Month kit from Allie Edwards. Let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm working with the April Stories by the Month, but before I dive into that, I wanted to point out, so this is the back of the previous week. This one you can see is oddly shaped. I have 4x4 pockets, and that's because this week is the week of Week in Life, and I wanted to use these 4x4 cards. So I altered page protectors to have two 4x4 pockets on each the top and the bottom row, and 3x4s in the middle. There's these little ones here. I'm not sure if I'm going to put anything in them. I might do like a confetti pocket. I might leave them empty, but I'm not going to worry about them right now. I think I'm going to worry about them when I do the Week in the Life, because it'll probably be some sort of transparent element. And for this week, I have both sides. So stay tuned for that video. That will be coming after this one at some point, but for now, I'm going to work on this spread. So I had these 4x4 pockets to work with, and this week, well, so actually the Sunday before this week, because this week runs Monday through Sunday, we finally finished the laundry room redo completely, and we're able to say it's 100% done. So this week on Monday, I took photos for my Instagram, and so because those are square, it was perfect to print them 4x4 and put them on here. I think I would say this is the one thing I don't like about 9x12 Project Life versus 12x12 is that there isn't a way or a page protector to have these 4x4s. So in the 12x12, you do have where it's got three 4x4s across the top and the bottom and four 3x4s in the middle. That's actually one of the page protectors I use to make this one. And in the 9x12 size, there just isn't really a way to fit in 4x4s. And I like the squares because they're really good for Instagram photos. So just something to keep in mind. And then let's see here. I have a few other photos from the week. So we had our first tulip. And so I have some additional tulip photos. Oh wait, that's a 4x6. And then we went to get ice cream. So I'll put that one there. And here is Pumpkin just lounging on the couch. I might put that there or over here. I always know I want more cards from this week, and I only have the two 4x6, so we didn't print any 4x6 photos because I know there's cards in the kit I want to use. So I'm gonna go ahead and dig in that. So here's, actually, this is the package. I have the whole kit in here, and I have all of this ephemera because, as you guys know, if you've been watching, with these Stories by the Month kits, I've been doing an ephemera pocket. So I have all my ephemera, but first I'm just gonna go through the cards and figure out kind of what I wanna do. So there's been one of these title cards each month, so I'm gonna put that there. And then this card, this is the one I'm using for ephemera. This one looks super off-centered, you guys. Like, these ones are really big and those are small. I don't love that, but I think that'll work good for ephemera of different sizes. So that's okay. And then I don't really have spots for any more 4x6 cards. I'm just gonna look through them just to see if there's anything that really pops out at me. There's always some vellum pieces, and these would be good to cut down, of course. This would be good to cut down. And this one, and then here's the stickers. And then let's see the 3x4. So I've been using this card. So I'm gonna put that one just like here maybe. These ones I have not been using. This week, let's see, this is, I don't think, well, April 15th, there was tax day in here. So maybe I'll put that one, although, I mean, it's a deal to me, but like, I didn't actually do anything. So I could put it, I don't know, maybe as if I need a filler. And then I like this one. But yeah, that's probably too many cards because I need to do some journaling. So let's look at the Celebrating the Magically Mundane. I could probably use that one to talk about my laundry room. And then Everyday Moments. I want to remember this. That on, oh, why would I put on top of that one? This one might be good for like journaling. I could put this one a pumpkin right here of just like random things from this week. And then these ones are all vellum. I think I've been using these ones, but some months they're vellum and some months they're not. There's a lot more of these frames. I don't really want to do a vellum one, so maybe I'll put this one here and just check off tax day. Easter Sunday was actually in March this year. Thinking, do I want to do that? I don't really have anything to say about it. I'm going to think about it some more. But in the meantime, I'm going to get started on putting together some of these cards. There's also the die cut pack, which these are great for a lot of the stories, for putting on your photos, but a lot of the ones this month are super big. So like this one could be a very good like by itself, or it might actually look good on top of like, so you take the vellum and cut it down and then put this right like that. That would look good too. But I'm not sure if I want to use some of these. Love this photo. Honestly, I do really like that instead of this one. And then I need another journaling. Where's my journaling card here? Okay, so maybe I'm gonna find a piece of vellum to go behind that one. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put you guys on fast forward and start getting this one put together.
Okay, so I started by going back through all of the cards and kind of trying to decide what I wanted to put this tag on top of. And I selected one of the vellum pieces that was one of the 4x6 cards, which is fine. I just cropped it down to make a 3x4. And then I punched out the hole punch on there it was pre-punched, but I just need to push it through. And then I struggled here. I glued it down and I didn't hear it centered and I ripped it up. You saw that was a bit of a struggle, but I figured it out. And then I went over to my stash and pulled over this star brad just to add a little bit of texture. So I put that through the hole there using my paper piercer. And I just have a piece of like foam board that I use to whenever I need to pierce holes like that. And so I just stuck that back in my drawer. I added the dates onto my title card and it looked a little plain, so I'm going to go back and add something. But first I was just kind of trying to figure out my order of cards and where I wanted everything. And then I decided to work on the ephemera card. This card by far took the longest of this entire spread, just cropping everything down, but I really enjoy this process and it's been kind of fun this year to keep bits and pieces of different things from the month, different packaging of products I'm using or new things I'm trying. Like this gnocchi was something we just tried and we probably won't ever get it again. It was totally fine. It was good. But we kind of were doing like a gluten-free phase just to try to tighten our diet up a little bit. And it was a good attempt at that. But anyways, so I'm just going back and forth with cropping it down to get it to fit in that piece while still being able to read enough of the tag that I can figure out that says gluten-free gnocchi cauliflower. Then I have a few other tags and packages here that I collected over the month, and I actually ended up saving exactly 5, which is what I needed here. And now that I'm recording this, it is like halfway through May, and I'm realizing I don't really have much saved from May. I did collect a lot of ephemera on my road trip earlier this month, and I saved that in a bag for that trip. So I might end up going in and pulling some of that out to put on my ephemera page. But so far this year, I've been using this for just like random life ephemera, and it's just been like a fun mix up to save it. So if you get this kit, or even if you don't, this is just a fun way to fill some of the pockets, especially because I get a lot of questions about how to fill pockets when you don't have a lot going on, and everyone has this type of stuff. Everyone buys things. You have packaging, you have junk mail, you have magazines you read, just different things. You can even print memes out from the internet, whatever you want, but it doesn't have to be photos of your life. It can be other like bits and pieces, and I've really enjoyed having this different collection in my project life this year. You saw with the Girl Scout cookies, because it was that type of packaging, the adhesive didn't stick to it, so I just put the adhesive onto the cardstock and it stuck perfectly fine like that. It wasn't that it wasn't working, it was like that the tape roller wasn't like recognizing to come out because it was too slippery. I pulled some of the chipboard from the kit and tried to consider putting it on some of the pieces. I did put that one on that tulip, but that's it. I found that although I really loved the colors and designs in this April Stories by the Month kit, I felt like a lot of the embellishments were too big for pocket pages. So I use this as an opportunity to use up a bit in my stash, and I'm going to end up using some of those supplies in other projects. I do plan to go back through these Stories by the Month kits this year. So far, this is the fourth one that I've worked with, and they're bigger than the Stories by the Month kits have been in the past, but I'm still doing one weekly spread per month in my project life, which works well for me because I do have other products that I want to use, but I do have a decent amount of supplies left over. So my plan so far is to treat them almost like their own story kit and story plan some layouts using the remaining pieces of the kits. I was going to do the first quarter by itself, but I hadn't gotten to it by the time I finished this kit, so I might mix this one in, but I was thinking of doing them quarterly because that would also work with the 6x8 paper packs, which I'm also getting this year. On this card here, I'm journaling about the transformations around my house, primarily the laundry room and how we finished it up and how good it felt to say it was like 100% done, because so many things around the house, I say, this is 90% done, but there's just a couple more things I'm looking for. So it was good to have something I could fully check off my list and say is completely done. I also made note to my spice drawer organization, which I recently shared over on Instagram if you're curious to see that, but I did organize my spice drawer this week. I did it on the Sunday, but I finished it up on the Monday in the next week. So I do end up having a picture on there, but I wanted to just make note of it on that card, also because I had just more space to fill. This card here is my bullet list thing of all of the just different random stories of the week, things that were going on. We had our first tulip. I am playing a lot of my Switch. The Tortured Poets department was released. So just like a lot of little random things that happened this week, and I'm just making note of them on this bullet point card. This is probably one of my favorite ways to document life in project life, is to have a bullet point list of the week of just like those little micro stories that you would otherwise forget, the types of things that not only would you forget them during that specific week, but you would forget that they happened at all. So it's nice to have that to look back on. I pulled all these word phrase strips from my stash, and I'm just making a collection of stacked word phrase strips on a few of my 3x4 photos just to add a little bit of embellishment and tie everything together. And then I had pulled over one of those puffy asterisks from my stash to add on that April card. I considered adding those on some of the other cards as well, stacked on top of the word phrase strips or somewhere else, but I decided that this page looked busy enough with all of the color just from the wallpaper and in my laundry room and the sprinkles on my ice cream cone there. Here's a look at that completed spread. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And as always, I hope to see you guys all in the next one. Bye.